The last few weeks, a lot has been said on the campaign trail, some of it backed by facts and some not.
So, the Sunday Nation is helping you decipher what utterances by politicians are true or false in the Nation Newsplex Truth Meter. And
just to give you an idea of what you can expect in tomorrow's Sunday Nation, the Able Nation Newsplex team digs into this question.
Is the IEBC mandate restricted merely to accepting names of candidates from parties? And, by the way, the verdict is false.
Well, grab your copy of the Sunday Nation tomorrow for the full report, and you can also head over to www.nation.co.ke/IEBC mandate for the digital version.
Nurses are the latest public workers to escalate their pay dispute with their employer, the government, which has also had to quite recently address the more pertinent question of the rising food costs and the maize flour shortage.
But as patients suffer in public hospital beds and ordinary Kenyans scramble for maize flour in the shelves, it is business as usual, it seems, at least on the part of the political class who, as it is expected, vote hunting, amping a citizenry that appears uninterested in actively resolving the country's problems.
The dispute between nurses and their employer promises to be dragged out as they picket and stage work boycotts over pay and working conditions, and there seems to be little sign of progress in talks that would let up the suffering of tens of patients caught on the loose ends of the negotiations between the two parties.
We feel the government is not taking the nurses seriously. They are not even taking their time that they have used to negotiate, the resources.
The strike is perhaps an echo of the much bigger crisis in the health sector, a doctor's strike that had dragged on for nearly 100 days. Top that with the rising cost of living and a biting maize flour scarcity. But still, life moves on as normal for a huge chunk of Kenyans.
One of the most annoying things about this country is that those who occupy political leadership have very little concern for the things that touch the people of this country. In other countries, if doctors were on strike, if nurses were on strike, if important and essential commodities were not to be found in the shelves, government would be taking action and the opposition would be demanding that action be taken. But you can see these individuals are so preoccupied with pursuit of power for its own sake.
Many times we have not been using our conscience. We sit back and watch things going wrong. We do ill and we excuse ourselves. We as leaders don't take the responsibility that we've been given. We as citizens don't take our own responsibility. We are coming to elections and sometimes we don't even look at what are the main issues really.
There are concerns that a number of Kenyans have become indifferent to the country's ills, more so this political season.
Our conscience has been sold to greed, unfortunately. A lot of self-concern of our stomach, of our individual gains, and we've forgotten the common good. We need to stop when you see them suffering. We can't just walk by. We shouldn't think about my unga. I should think about the unga of the poor.
Commentators also say those perceived to be more privileged pay little regard to the daily wage laborer, and they both demand very little from their leaders.
Hivi sasa viongozi wetu watafanya chochote ili wawe marais, wawe magavana, wawe maseneta, wawe wabunge, wawe ma MCA, kwa kuwa uongozi katika Kenya imekuwa ni nafasi ya kujirundikia na kuhodhi mali.
And with every election, there is perhaps an enduring feeling about new wine being poured into old wineskins. Sheila Sandeo, NTV.